Is Spencer Pratt about to run the single greatest revenge campaign in history? Spencer Pratt was already running on a revenge campaign for the city of Los Angeles and its incompetent, cruel leadership burning down his house. Now, to add insult to injury, they've, of course, stolen an election from Spencer Pratt. You can see here that Spencer Pratt is now in third place, although I was kind of shocked this morning to find that he's only 3,000 votes behind. It still seems kind of close. 84% counted. I don't know, man. I don't know. Has the fat lady sung here? They've announced that he hasn't made the runoff, but could it be premature? I don't know. A white boy can dream, can't we? Anyway, that's what Spencer Pratt was doing before Skid Row started voting for Nikki Rahman. Nikki Rahman couldn't even win her own district, her own precinct, but she won in all of the homeless epicenters all throughout LA, just clustered right around here, right there in downtown. Karen Bass won all of the black and ghetto and hood, godforsaken, like literally the hell on earth, Inglewood, Lenox, Southgate, all of the neighborhoods where you die when you go to them. And Spencer Pratt won the hills, right? And that's what you would expect. But Nikki Rahman won all the homeless encampments. Amazing, the modern state of LA. But the state of California is also kind of fascinating, frankly. There are 5 million registered Republicans in California. About half of them showed up to vote for Steve Hilton, a very good sign. I mean, wait a second. Are you talking 50% of all registered Republicans voted for Steve Hilton, who has officially made the runoff? So Steve Hilton will be on the ballot. Will he bring Spencer Pratt on? I'd love to see it, says Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton, a dear friend of our show, saying Pratt made a real impact. It's a travesty. LA voters won't have that choice, says Steve Hilton. Oh, my. So what is Steve saying on national TV? He says, 100% I'd like to bring on Spencer Pratt. He made an incredible impact, an absolute travesty. I won't have that choice. He laid out incredible plans. Of course, everybody talks about this. Amazing campaign ads. It's true. They forget. His incredibly strong substantive policies, especially on homelessness, which I said at the time, that's exactly what we need, not just in LA, but statewide. I would 100% love that, says Steve Hilton.
We've been very busy with our own campaigns.
Yeah, absolutely.
And doing our own thing in very different races. But as I said this morning, I think that he got a lot of attention with his brilliant campaigning, social media dominance. That was great. But actually he had some really substantive plans as well, particularly on homelessness, that I fully support. They're very well thought through. And I would be very happy for him, whatever I can do to help make that happen, including working with him or not. It's up. I'm not going to, rush it, but I do think that he had some really important things to say.
So do you, in other words, would you bring him into your administration?
Oh, of course, for like a shot, my door would be open. But as I say, I don't want to, he's probably reflecting on what happened right now. I can imagine.
Well, I don't, as far as I know, I don't think we've heard from him just yet. He hasn't come out publicly. So looking.
He has, actually. Spencer Pratt posted a couple of very interesting things here. One, he roasted Jimmy Kimmel, saying Jimmy Kimmel said he'd rent Spencer Pratt a U-Haul to leave L.A. Jimmy Kimmel, I guess I missed the part of the story where I don't need a U-Haul because I have nothing left to pack. Oh, that was brutal. And Spencer Pratt posting this photo of a duck serenely sitting on a pond of water, the water that was starved from the Palisades in Los Angeles. Spencer Pratt saying, folks, we're dealing with a fraction of a percentage, still hundreds of thousands of votes outstanding. LA officials have given us the next 3 weeks to count to get her done. So he's positive posting here, even though they called it for his opponent. Very interesting. Again, only a 3,000 vote difference. So while I can rage and yell, again, the purple here is Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton getting over 2.5 million votes. Look at this. Painting the state of California purple. I don't know. Maybe there's a chance. I'm not sure what the duck means exactly. But it did do nearly 1 million views and 46,000 likes. So there's a lot of gas in the tank here Steve Hilton saying that he would love to have Spencer Pratt on the campaign. I would love to see it. Why not bring him in to solve homelessness? Why not bring him in as your lieutenant governor? Well, then you'd really be in charge of LA. Because, of course, LA needs all the state funds. You, as governor, as the chief executive, would be able to block the funds or distribute the funds correctly to actually not defraud the people using the homeless crisis to rig votes, which has now been proven.
And what's gone wrong? He had some really serious positive plans for change, particularly on homelessness. And I remember when he published his homelessness plan, I said, this is very much in line with what I've been arguing, what we've been working on in my policy organization, Golden Together, for many years. And so I am absolutely, I think that what's happened with Spencer Pratt is a travesty. It is a travesty that Los Angeles now, with all the problems that we can all see in this election, is going to have a choice between the obviously incompetent incumbent and an ideological extremist. That is no choice at all. And that situation in Los Angeles points to another major change we need to make, which is to end this ridiculous top two system in California.
Yes. Well done. Good job. I would love to see it. President Trump says California's cheating like dogs after Spencer Pratt's loss. They called it for Steve Hilton to avoid an uproar. You can't cheat like they did in the election, says President Trump. Maybe it's time to send in the feds. Sounds like they are actually going to send in the feds. Steve Hilton, Republican nominee, says he would like to campaign with Pratt. Put him in charge of homelessness. Make him your lieutenant governor. I think Steve Hilton's already chosen a lieutenant governor. I'd be so effing happy if we got Steve Hilton and Spencer Pratt on the campaign trail. Tons of California Republicans are mad Spencer Pratt didn't advance. Would really juice turnout in this November. See, Spencer Pratt made a huge name for himself mocking left-wing politicians, mocking those who were running against him. Absolute all-time favorite clip here. Spencer Pratt.
Republicans' idea of what Los Angeles looks like. This is really not this. I'm not.
White boy summer started early. Ladies and gentlemen, it's obviously Spencer Pratt going nuclear viral in these incredibly beautiful videos explaining what needs to happen with the homeless crisis in the country. I encourage you to go watch them. 5.5 million views. So please keep Spencer Pratt in the running. However it happens. Maybe there'll be a miracle in the ballot counting. I doubt it. Maybe. But more importantly, I would love to see this partnership. Huge fans of Steve Hilton, huge fans of Spencer Pratt. Let's roll.